Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. We would like to present this intersex inclusive progress flag as a gift from us to the city of Petaluma. This flag is the most recent rendition, if you will, and it has intersex, the circle represents intersex people. Excuse me. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and good evening. Good evening, everyone. Pride Month is often viewed as a celebration of the joy we share in the resilience of our community and in working together in the ongoing struggle for freedom and equality. I'm going to back up and say I'm currently the president of Petaluma Pride. My name is Jennifer. Beginning as a protest against discrimination and violence directed at LGBTQ people, Pride is a reminder that liberation is something we must continue to fight for together, all of us. Marsha P. Johnson said, "There's no pride for some of us without liberation for all of us." And she wasn't just speaking about trans people, and I believe she wasn't just speaking about LGBTQ people. Racist and sexist stereotypes influence, impose norms, and form the basis for laws. And we have witnessed transgender, non-binary, and intersex people facing escalated attacks framed as debates about gender, but at their core, they are about control. The control over people's bodies, identities, and personal decisions. And they affect the ability of our neighbors to participate safely in public life. We've seen that same desire for control in discussions about reproductive freedom, whether someone is seeking gender-affirming care, making decisions about pregnancy, or simply living authentically in their own body. The underlying principle is the same. People deserve autonomy over their own bodies and personal decisions. The harm of rigid gender norms affects everyone, extending far beyond the trans community. When society imposes narrow ideas about who people should be, anyone who falls outside of those expectations becomes a target. Black and Latina women have always been disproportionately subjected to having their gender questioned and their bodies scrutinized because, again, racist and sexist stereotypes define womanhood through this narrow lens. At the same time, boys, men, and other people assigned male at birth are often pressured by toxic expectations of masculinity, discouraging vulnerability, emotional expression, caregiving, and authentic self-expression. These rigid standards confine us all to narrowed societal norms with regard to our freedom and humanity. As a school psychologist, I can't help but thinking about how we talk about ACEs, which are adverse childhood experiences. They are linked to long-term risks for health and well-being. So thinking about how we raise our children, regardless of their gender, of their identity, thinking about how they perceive themselves in this world matters long-term. Pride reminds us that our struggles are connected. The fight for trans rights, reproductive rights, racial justice, and liberation is ultimately a fight against systems that seek to control our bodies and enforce conformity. Alok, a gender non-conforming trans feminine award-winning poet, comedian, actor, LGBTQ advocate, says that the debate transcends gender, that trans people are targeted because we have a different definition of not just gender, but about what love is. We are taught that we have to betray certain parts of ourselves to belong, and trans people remind us that we don't have to betray ourselves to belong. What if we not only thought of Pride as a way to accept LGBTQ people, but rather a way to open up the awareness and the idea that we can embrace a reality? We can embrace the richness of our uniqueness. Our race, our culture, gender, socioeconomic status, ability, the way we conform or reject conforming. We can embrace that all while moving through this world. Our goal is not simply tolerance, but liberation. A world where every person can define themselves, make decisions about their own body, and live with dignity, safety, and respect. All of us in Petaluma Pride want to relay a message that we know to be true, The closer trans people are to being truly free, the closer we all are. Thank you.
Thank you.